YouTube. Oh my goodness, I'm outside. What, an indoor kid outside? What? But anyway, I'm out here today in the backyard. It's a nice day. It's a little hot, but you know, living my life. I got my palm tree, I got my grass, and I'm still cleaning out my shelves. It's like what I've been doing lately, and I've decided, I found all these books that have just been on my shelf for like an intense amount of time. Like a long time. Oh, there's Batman. Hey, Batman. They've just been on my shelf for a really long time, and I've decided I'm just gonna try it. You know what I mean? So right next to me I have this whole stack of books. I'm just gonna read a chapter. This is like try a chapter challenge. I don't know if this is already a thing or not, but I'm just gonna basically read the first chapter of a bunch of books and decide whether or not I actually want to read the rest of the book. I mean, is the first chapter of a book completely indicative of how good a book is? No, obviously. However, at this point in my life, I think it's safe to say I've probably read like 1,000 books. So I feel like I'm a bit of an expert. So I'm gonna do the first chapter of a whole bunch of books and then kind of review them as I go. Okay, checking back in. Also, if you hear a bunch of like thumps in the background, my neighbors are redoing their roof. It's not necessarily the most comforting of sounds, but that's life, you know? So, first things first, I have read the first chapter of Roar by Cora Carmack. This has been sitting on my shelf for like an intense amount of time. The main reason I kept it, it's signed. So I was like, oh, it's signed, I should read this. And yet here we are, I still haven't read it and it's been years. So anyway, I've read the first chapter. It's about 30 pages of this book, and not so into it. People like pick fights with storms, and then like if you win the fight with the storm, you get their like storm magic, and then you do stuff with it. Like they're people in storms. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to read a book about the weather. Nothing in here is particularly fresh, I guess that's the word. Not that it has to be like tried and true tropes or something. There's something to be said for that, but in this instance, yeah, it's not reinventing the wheel, but in kind of a dull way. Hello again. I checking in after I read my first chapter of book 2, which was The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. Again, this has been on my shelf for like, oh boy, several years. It's kind of like early 1800s Russia, and there's these enchanters, and they're trying to be the imperial enchanter, and apparently there's like, they're gonna have to like fight to the death, and also probably a love triangle. At least that's what the blurb says, but already I'm like, love triangle, blah. Like, it has to be a really good one for me to be interested in them anymore. And yeah, I'm not feeling it so much. I mean, it's fine. I would say it's probably younger YA, but there's nothing in it that's like really catching my attention so far. It seems a little slow paced. I mean, not a lot of magic has happened yet, but like, I don't foresee myself actually reading the whole thing. Batman. Hi! So Batman's hanging out with me. Also, did I forget to mention I'm sitting by the pool? Yep. Sitting by the pool, everybody. Feeling really good about it. So yeah, I got my kiddie pool. I got my neighbors redoing their roof. And I got my books. It's a nice, pretty day outside. I got my palm tree. I'm living my life. But you know what? This kiddie pool is the best purchase we've made in a long time. Alright, checking back in. I have now read my third book for the day, which is Graceling by Kristen Kishore. And I know this is like a classic. Everyone, well, not everyone, but like I hear about it a lot. It's like a beloved classic of YA fantasy literature. And so that's why I gave it 2 chapters instead of just 1. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this like a fair shot. And like, I don't know. It might be just because I'm a grown-ass adult and this reads younger YA. I would say probably, well, actually the back says ages 14 and up, so That seems about right. It just seems like a very young YA, considering we're following Katza, who's like basically in this world, like people have like a power that they're gifted with called a grace, and her grace is like killing, so she's like real good at killing people. And yeah, and she was rescuing this guy from a prison. I don't know, it just reads very young. And I do know it's a classic, but like, am I going to actually read this whole book just because it's a classic of this? No. I mean, in 2008, this was probably dope, but like, this is 2021, and yeah, I don't think I'm gonna finish this. All right, I've just did my check-in for book 4, which is Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. This was one of the last books I got at a like official book signing in the before times, like right before COVID hit. So there's that. And this is kind of a gender bent Count of Monte Cristo kind of retelling. And that's what really caught my eye about it. I was like, okay, female Count of Monte Cristo, I'm into it. And like, I don't know, I think maybe if I read the whole book, it might be fine. But like, I started reading chapter 1, and was I blown away? No, not yet. I've seen similar stories done better, but like, I don't think it's bad necessarily. Like, it's got a great cover and great concept, and I think it'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like, right now I would give it 3.5 stars. Like, I think it's a fine book, maybe just not for me. But hey, you know what? I'm making progress. I'm cleaning out my shelves one chapter at a time. Oh shit. Okay, I just read book 5, chapter 1. The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. Oh man, like I went into here with reservations because Trisha Levenseller wrote Daughter of the Pirate King, which I thought was just bad. Like, I'm sorry, it was bad. But this one comes along, it's got a cool cover, it's got like a very, not even morally gray. I think she's just an asshole. Terrible heroine, but like interesting. Oh my word. I'm kind of obsessed, and I've only read one chapter, so that's great. Like, I'm just gonna read you the first line, which is, "They've never found the body of the first and only boy who broke my heart, and they never will." Oh, damn. So, yeah, this is a keeper. This is about Alessandra. She is a scheming conniver. She's like, oh, you know what? I'm very good at seducing people and getting what I want. And next up, I'm going to seduce the Shadow King, marry him, kill him, blame someone else, and be queen. She's a girl on a mission. But, oh boy, this is very dark, and it's a YA. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, this is a keeper. I'm excited for this one. Okay, so checking in once more. I just finished book 6, and that's actually the last one. I only grabbed 6 books for today, and I had Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Again, it's been on my shelf for a long time, mainly just because it's signed. This is like a spin-off of her Remnant Chronicles series, which like I have read. I have read the first book of that series, and like thought it was okay. The first half of the book was very dull, and then the second half was like better, but I never read the other books in that series. So this one I'm like, oh shit, like stuff went down. Oh my, there was like a war. So like I'm a little confused because I haven't finished that series, and this is obviously very much in that world. And you know, like considering I didn't really like the first series all that much, I don't really see myself picking this one up and trying to figure out what happened. So I mean, the cover, gorgeous, it's signed, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna make the cut. So oh well. Oh boy. Okay, so 6 books, one day. Mind you, this is the first chapter of each, but yeah, like it's helpful because that way I don't feel like I'm just like wasting books. I'm actually giving them a shot for like a minute before I decide whether or not I'm keeping them. So of these 6 books, I'm only keeping 1. I really need to clean out my shelves, and so I've made space for 5 books. So that's positive, okay? And I got to try them out. So the question is, what am I going to do with these books? And I was thinking I would try to find, you know, like those little free libraries, because there's like a website that tells you where they all are. I think I might try to find some of those and just stick them in randomly. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for hanging out with me on a pretty day in my yard with my kiddie pool and just reading books, enjoying the sunshine. Let me know in the comments down below, what are some books that you just need to like either, you know, read it or get rid of it? Like read it or read it. Like which one is that book for you? For me, I just handled 6 today, so I feel pretty good about it. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.